This is Chris Wondolowski for the San Jose Earthquakes. You're watching Bay Area Sports Wrap.
Change for the next game coming up. I would like to follow up more of the process. Are you guys adapting to face every game? Thank you.
Right. So don't want to change very much because, as I said, I thought we played very well. We created chances. And we had this lineup because it was the lineup that won us the game last weekend. We're trying to find some little stability. And, and we thought this would give us our best chance. Now the process that goes into that is the work that goes on during the week for practices and preparing the team. One of the things we worked on this week is trying to get in behind them. And I thought we did that effectively, but we just didn't put chances away. Even right from the start of the kickoff, we got in behind with that ball. We score that. It could be 1-0. But that's the game. But the preparation is we see certain things we want to work on, and we do that.
Carlos, go ahead.
Carlos Justice from Telemundo. How do you find the balance now? Because the problem is you obviously are preparing the games well. You just talk about how you break them down, that you find spaces. Rachel had a couple of runs from finding the one-on-ones.
Yeah.
You're breaking down the defense. But at the end of the day, the results are not coming. So how you find that balance to not make excuses of we're not getting the results because at the end of the day you need them, but also kind of build on what you have.
Yeah.
That's to me that's a tough place to
Well, it is. I mean, we still look at ourselves when we sit down. It's like, okay, these are the mistakes we're making, and why are we making them? And all we can do is talk about it, work on it, and try to improve. And sometimes it pays off, sometimes it doesn't. I mean, outside of those 2 goals, I'm not making excuses. I thought we played really well. We played a good game of football against an excellent team. So, but we didn't get the goals today.
Brian.
Brian G. Santa Cruz Voice. It seems to me like today you kind of changed up the formation a little bit, going like a 4-2-3-1, more defensive. Was that designed to try to slow down Gotham's generally potent attack?
On paper, it might look like that, but it's a 4-3-3 when we're attacking, and it's a 4-2-3-1 when we're defending. We've done that before. So basically, when we don't have the ball, we'll try to play with 2 holding midfielders, and then when we have it, then we push forward. And you'll see, like, Kiki sits as the 6, and then we have Joel or Dorian or Tess attacking and creating, some offense for us.
Quick follow-up there. When last week it seemed like Kiki was involved in everything offensively, but it seemed like out of the defensive formation today, she was really unable to put herself up in the offensive formation quickly enough.
Yeah, but that wasn't really her role for this game, and actually it wasn't her role for the last game either. It's just the way it worked out. She saw the space, she recognized, and we had a lot more attacks in this game than we did against San Diego. But her role is to kind of sit in there, help us get out of the back, and limit chances for them, which I thought she did an excellent job, especially when you have Rose Lavelle in the midfield. I mean, one of the best players in the world, and we kept her at check, and a lot of that had to do with Kiki.
After the second game against San Diego, you talked about how you didn't want to lose to the same team twice this season, and Tess echoed that a little bit ago. And you've also said earlier today it felt like you were playing against 12 players. Does that add a little bit more motivation next time this team comes up on the schedule? This is not one you for sure want to win.
It actually does. It's one of the things I said to the team afterwards. It's like, look, the way I look at things is you find ways to motivate you, and this should be because they felt it. The group felt that we played really well today. We created chances. We were on them. We had the momentum for most of both halves, and you could feel it from the players. But it's like, look, we're not going to get calls. It doesn't look like it. So let's continue working, and this will be a motivation for the next game because it's a matter of time before things start to turn.
Marco.
Hey, Coach Marco, College Bears Sports Wrap. I'm going to save you from not getting a fine, so I won't ask about the referee. But despite having control of possession, it just seemed like the offense was a little bit off today, especially when you guys got near the 20-yard box, and there was some passes that were just off time throughout most of the game. Was that something that was talked about at halftime about making that adjustment?
A little bit. I mean, at halftime, I thought, again, we were creating chances. We have to remember this was the best defense in the league, right? So I think they've only conceded 7 goals all season long. But yet, we were in there, we were creating, we were getting crosses off, and you're right, we're just off by a little bit. And Tess had a good opportunity. She could have scored that goal, right? So did Kundananji in that first half. And we had those kind of half chances, but that's what it takes. I can't remember if they had I have to go back to film, but they had 2 chances really to put it away, and they did. We had 2, we didn't. And but that's kind of going back to training and cleaning that up and just continue working on our finishing.
Jesus Guillermo, Bay Area Deportes. You lead the league with 23 goals against.
Yes.
Going into Chicago, what is it? The 4-3-3? Are you planning to do some movement? Is Dana going to be back?
So, defensively, we have gotten a lot better. Yes, we've had quite a few goals in, but in the last 3 games, against Orlando, a PK, against San Diego, a corner, and then on this, a set piece, and then just a mistake that happens to players, right? So defensively, it's not like other teams are creating many chances like they have in the past. So defensively, we're happy where we're at, and now it's, as we talk to the team, putting it all together. Because we were scoring goals early on the season, but now it's like we're not necessarily scoring as much. So we're not going to be changing much as I see, because I think we're doing yes, we're conceding goals right now, but we'll have to look at video and see if there's maybe a change here or there. And with the NL time, we'll tell. It just depends on how the team does. We had a win. This time we didn't, so now we'll look at the lineup, but I also have to be careful how much I continue changing it. That's one of the challenges as a new coach and a new franchise. It's like who plays well together with each other. So we've had a lot of lineup changes, but now it's just can we find some consistency there.
William.
Next game, you guys go to Wrigley Field for a very big game. Are you guys hoping to use that as a turning point? That this is a big milestone moment for the team and for the league as a whole? Is that going to be hopefully a catalyst?
Yeah, I'm sure we will. I haven't even thought about that yet. So, but it is a historic moment playing at Wrigley Field. We're excited about that. But yeah, our motivation is let's go out there, compete, and try to get some points now. So what I have to balance is, do we try to keep playing our game and possession and playing it, or are we going to be a little bit more direct and let's just try to get the 3 points however we do it?
Paul.
One more question. How's Dana Castellanos with the injury?
She's much better. She's much better, and she had a very good week of practice. But as I said, we chose to go with the starting lineup that won us the game last week, and we thought we were creating chances. We had the momentum, so I didn't want to change too much until the very end. And then she gave us, what she can do, provided some opportunities there for us. So we're excited that she had a very good week of practice.
What about the fans? They're still here supporting the energy.
Yeah, I mean, they are. We're so excited about that. I keep everyone that talks about it, even I said other coaches from around the league, and players that we know, they're like, we love your environment. I mean, coming into San Jose and playing in the stadium, your fans are absolutely some of the best in the country, in the league. And I'm like, yeah, they are. And you can see that they're still supporting us. But I think they appreciate that. I mean, our players never gave up, right? And they can get behind that, because that's one of the things I asked them at halftime. It's like, no one here should quit at all. I mean, it's like, you've got to believe in this because we're in this game. And they did, and they felt it. So when you bring that type of energy and excitement and positivity, the fans, I can appreciate it and respect that. So it really helps us.
Take a few more. We'll go Marco, Brian, and then Michael to wrap us up.
Coach, I can totally understand the players' frustration, especially after this game, with everything that went down. What was your message? Is it to basically forget about this one, even though as frustrated as they are? Do you want them to hold on to that frustration, that anger, and carry it over to the next game?
Yeah, I don't want them to forget about it at all. I told them, like, you feel it. I mean, I said you could feel it. You have to be in the huddle and you have to be around the players. And, like, they felt that we were the better team, that we, not in the score, right? But we were on them. We were creating. It's like the excitement was there, and when they're talking about it, and we feel it as a coaching staff, it's not just one coach, it's everyone. And then we get some of the data, and it shows like, wait, we were on their half most of the game, and so I don't want them to forget about that. I'm like, look, this is where we're at now. We beat the Shield winners last week. Today we played the champions, and you could say that we had a very good game against them. So we're this close. It's just you got to keep believing. We got to keep doing the work and getting better.
Brian?
So, kind of piggybacking on what you just said there, it seemed like between last week and this week, playing the Shield winners and the defending champs, it almost felt like this week you played better in a loss than last week.
100%.
And stood toe to toe with the league champs. you know, what do you take from that going forward and telling the ladies in the locker room?
Well, again, I've said all that, but we talk about this as coaches all the time, and I'm sure you've heard. Do you rather get the 3 points and not play the way you've been playing, and or play a great game like this, which we thought we did, but take the loss? This game moves us forward in the direction that we want to play, the style of football that we want to play. Last week, the message really was, let's get 3 points however we get it, because the team needed that as well. So credit to them taking that on and finding a way to get the 3 points. Now, it's, can we get the 3 points playing this way? And that's what we're going to strive for.
All right, Michael, wrap us up.
All right, so digressing back to the Chicago scenario, have you ever been in Wrigley yourself?
I have not.
Will this be a thrill for you, at least, you know, from a baseball side of it?
Absolutely, because I know just how much history there is in that field. And when I was told about it, I was very excited, and I thought this would be an incredible opportunity for our players to experience. And so far from what I've heard, Chicago's done a really good job. They're going to create a great atmosphere, and I think they may have already sold over 20,000 tickets, and that was like a week ago. So, yeah, I'm actually very excited myself.
Okay. All right, we'll wrap on that. Thank you, everyone. Appreciate your time.
Thanks, everyone.
You're watching me, but you need to be watching Bay Area Sports Wrap. Bay Area Sports Wrap on YouTube. Like and subscribe, and there's a good chance you might get to heaven.